evening, everyone, and welcome to At America TV. For those of you joining us for the first time, At America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. My name is Jasmine, and tonight we will be having Hispanic Heritage Month, Salsa Night. But before we begin, I would like to share with you that At America is having a giveaway as part of our 10th anniversary celebration and also celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. We're inviting you guys to participate on our giveaway so you guys don't miss out on a chance to receive a pair of Apple AirPods. Now, how can you guys do that? Stay tuned until the end of the program because that's when I'll be sharing with you how to join. Now, also, before we begin in All About America's events, I would like to share with you our social media quiz question for this evening. So tonight's question is, when did salsa become popular in the US? Is it A, in the 1960s, B, in the 1970s, C, in 1980s, or D, in the 1990s? So which one is the correct answer? When did salsa become popular in the US? You guys can participate in our social media quiz by commenting on our social media platform on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram. And for those of you who got the answer correctly, you will get a live shout out from us at the end of the program. All right, without further ado, I'm very excited for our event this evening. Please give a warm welcome for our moderator, Mbak Duani Bahar, President of Cuban Salsa Indonesia, Bali.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Duani Bahar. I am the co-founder of Cuban Salsa Indonesia. So thank you at America for having this virtual event where we are going to discuss about the Hispanic heritage in Latin country and the influence to the societies around the world. With the theme of the night, Salsa Night. Woo! So I hope you are excited as I am. I will be your moderator today, and also later on, I will also be your demonstrator for the salsa dance together with my partner, Stacy Huang. So welcome everyone to this event, and I want to thank you all for joining us, and I hope you're all safe, healthy, and important, you are all happy and excited for tonight. Okay. So let me introduce you to our speaker. And this is the founder of Cuban Salsa Indonesia, who is actually came to Indonesia in 1999 to introduce salsa here in Indonesia. We are so happy about it. And she's Cuban. She is a professional dancer and instructor who is now based in the US. Please welcome Damaris Morales.
Hi.
Hello, Damaris. How are you?
Hi. I am very well in this morning here.
Yes, morning there. It's night in Indonesia.
Yes. Tell me about it.
Okay, so how is you just moved to US, yeah? How is it living there?
It is quite different. Very hectic. It's all about work. Not so much fun like in Indonesia. Missing it a lot. Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, so you ready for tonight, Damaris?
Yes, totally ready.
Yes.
Ready for some dancing. Ready for some chatting.
Yeah. So before the dancing, though, let's begin the discussion where it all started. So can you share with us about the Spanish colonization in the beginning? Let's start from there.
Yeah. So Cristobal Colón, as we say in Spanish, he arrived at least in Cuba in 1492. So in the 15th century, yeah. And then since then, it brought the Spanish colonizers, and then it became a fight against history, yeah. So they start to go little by little, colonizing country by country. Some gave more fight back. Some unluckily became succumbed to the fight, to the colonization that they brought, because they weren't warriors. So in the case of the Aztecs and some other cultures, then they stood up and they fought back, and then they won at some points. But in the case of small islands, like in my case in Cuba and all those kind, then they weren't as lucky. They did fight back. They did do their best, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So by the end, the Spanish, they did colonize all of it, even though the Aborigines fought back. But in the saddest time, in the saddest choices of how to say in English, cases, in the saddest cases, then they got exterminated, almost terminated, like in Cuba. So if we are celebrating the Hispanic month, but in those times they weren't celebrating as much. So nowadays we celebrate the culture that they left behind, of course, the Spanish language that we all share, but the situation wasn't as fun for them as it is for us now. So in the case of Cuba, they got almost terminated. And then that's why the Spanish then decided to go all the way to Africa to bring Africans to do the labor, because they ran out of people to work for them, looking for gold and all that. We also have to think that the climate also worked against them. So between the colonizers and then the hurricanes and all that thing, it worked against it, and then the population of Aborigines then didn't stand a chance. So that's why. But then with the adding of the Africans, then the culture became richer, because then we had the Spanish from one side, and then we have the African on the other side. Then in some other countries, not for Cubans, but then for other countries, then they do have the Aborigine their own as well. So that gave birth to a very interesting and rich culture that we have today. So yes, that we have to celebrate, because it is indeed very rich and very entertaining.
Right. So are you saying that in the original people in Cuba was terminated? I mean,
Almost, yes.
All of it.
Almost all of it. I mean, it was because they weren't warriors.
Right.
They were farmers, fishermen. They didn't have. They were very welcoming to the Spanish. So actually, what they did was to open the door to a person who came just to take over. So they didn't stand a chance. They did fight back, but they didn't have much help as well. I mean, in the continent, in the countries like Mexicans and all that, it was a continent, so they might have help from other tribes and stuff. In the case of Cuba, we were an island, so it wasn't that easy, and it was really a bloody episode from in our history.
And how did it influence the all of the Latin country? I mean, nowadays, how it got influenced?
Well, the Spanish brought their religion, their language, so it influenced in the sense of being able to communicate to everyone. So now you go to any Latin country and you can actually speak with anybody, because everybody speaks Spanish. So, with the exception of Brazil and Jamaica and all those small cases, or a few cases that have another language, majority of Latin America speaks Spanish, which is very convenient when you go to everywhere in Latin America and then you can actually communicate. In the case of Brazil, I mean, Portuguese is quite similar. So even if it's not the same, we still can communicate. Culture-wise, then we have a lot in common. Everywhere you go in Latin America, you play salsa, everybody will check their shoulders and move and dance. So it's very general and very similar. So that is something that they left behind, and is something that we all share in common.
Right. So, and this is why actually we are all here to talk more about the art of the dance and music, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, since this is the theme of the night, so can you tell us more about the history of salsa?
Yes. So as I said before, because of the need of work, then they brought the slaves from Africa, and that brought many things that influence in the salsa music nowadays, which is the congas, the timbales, all those stuff, the percussive stuff, the clave, all that comes from the African influence. But then from the Spanish influence, we have the guitar and probably the influence of the piano, which comes from the European cultures, the more refined kind of stuff. But all that confluence in the same kind of music and then give the flavor that have today. So in Cuba, the progress of it actually starts since end of the 1800s, 19th century. So where song, S-O-N, song was created. It's a music and a dance that it is a combination of all these factors and then became very popular in Cuba. Very popular to the level that it transcended to the 20th century. Is in the middle of the 20th century, in the 40s, late 40s, beginnings of 50s, that in Cuba was so popular to the point that they have increased terms and make it more complicated, and then become national wise. Then because of the how to say, immigration, natural immigration, looking for better ways to make their life, musicians and dancers as well migrate to US. So it's in the 50s, where in Cuba was already popular, but nowhere else in the world. Is in the end of 60s, beginning of 70s, that then by the natural immigration, the musicians and dancers come to US and then decided to put together rhythms that were already famous in their country. I'm talking about Colombia, I'm talking about Puerto Rico, I'm talking about Venezuela, or all those countries that have the same makeup. They have the Aborigine, they have the Spanish, and they also have the African influence. So, and they have the same upbringing of the music. I mean, we have the cumbia, we have the plena, we have all those kind of rhythms that are very similar, but different itself. So they decided in New York to put it all together, and then that mixture is what gave birth to what we know today as salsa. But back then, they actually didn't even have a name for it. So it is actually in Venezuela, in some radio program, that someone asked the question, so how did you call this? And they were like, well, it had flavor, it had spice, let's just call it salsa. Salsa as in sauce. Right. Like what we use for food or for eating. So the action of mixing ingredients to reach a flavor, to reach a certain amount of spiciness in our food, that is what gave birth to the idea of naming that music and by consequence, the dance salsa. But in their countries where all those rhythms that got together were born, they kept on naming it. They kept on calling that what they used to call. So in Cuba, for example, it was casino because where people used to go dancing, it was called Casino de La Habana. So they named they used to call their dance casino up till today. If you go to Cuba and you ask somebody to dance with salsa music, you said let's dance casino. But then in Colombia, they used to call their dance cumbia, and they up till today and like that. But nobody actually make a problem out of to call it salsa. Let's do a salsa, no problem. But with that name is more well known in the U.S. and the rest of the world, rather than in the countries where the origin of all these musics are made. So that's the way it is.
Right. So because for someone who is coming not from the Latin country like myself, I experience a lot of people claiming like salsa is coming from here, salsa is coming from there. So basically, all the Latin countries they all contributes in the name salsa, right? I mean, they all have their own.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly. So that's how it was born. It's a compilation of rhythms. Now, majority of it, of the essence of the salsa, comes from the Cuban music. That's why whenever you Google it, you will find that the root of it comes from Cuba and blah 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 blah. So because it all started long before, almost a century before. If you go to the dates, yeah. If things when you check that in the US, it was actually started end of 60s and it was very popular already in the 70s. And then you go to the beginning of it with some almost a century before end of the 1800s. Then it's almost a century before in Cuba, we were already like this. And still nobody knew about anything, right? Everybody was already shaking and moving their hips and all that in Cuba for almost a century before. So yes, the root of it goes to Cuba, and then after that, all the other countries start to add part of it to their culture and their music and stuff. And then it's in US where they do the final mixture. So let's leave it at that.
Yes. So I guess also it leads to there are many different styles. Like they're not only Cuban styles, LA styles, and there's so many styles because basically is like almost all the Latin countries are well known with this. How do you say, with this music, with the rhythm and all
Yes.
that, right?
So music, in the part of the music, it depends on how the leader of the band decide to create the music. So if he decide to put a touch of cumbia, for example, more cumbia into it, then the music will sound more cumbia-ish. Yeah. And then if they decide to put more mambo into it, then it will sound that way and like that. So that's why Cuban salsas to Colombian salsas to Puerto Rican salsa, there is similarity in all of it, but then you can see the difference among them. And then in the case of the dancing, then because they were already dancing their own music long before salsa was mixed up, then everybody kept on dancing the same way they used to dance. So Cubans keep on dancing the casino way, and then Colombians keep on dancing the cumbia way, and then Puerto Ricans their plena way, and so on. When salsa music got famous in the US, then people in LA, Latin people, got their own style and then adapted to club wise So while Latin people will dance more into close embrace, like start dancing in close embrace, and maybe later on we'll go into hand holding, in clubs in the US, in LA, and later on in New York, mostly based in, the Puerto Ricans that are more based in the New York, they got their own way of dancing. They transformed it a bit, and then became the difference in the styles. So we have Cuban style, we have Colombian style, we have Puerto Rican style, and then we have LA style, which were born in clubs. And then we have New Year style that were also born in clubs. That's why they start dancing by holding hand instead of close embrace. You know, Latins, we are more possessive. So we demonstrate that even by dancing. So, and also the dancing in the Latin countries, they were born more into gatherings and family parties rather than in clubs. So those are the differences and similarities among all the styles.
And now the question. Sometimes I've been learning salsa, well, actually from you. I'm so happy about it. I've been learning salsa for a long time, and then some people stick to their styles. Like if I do Cuban style, I'll do Cuban style. If I do LA style, I'll do LA style. And actually, there's no problem of mixing them, right? And that's actually the salsa. It's a mix of everything, and that's what make it interesting by combining all the styles together.
Yes. Definitely. I even always advise my students to go ahead and learn different. I always advise them to go one by one, not learn all of them at the same time, because that will give some mix in the, yes, it will be a mess. But yes, I always advise my students to go ahead and learn different styles, because that will enrich their way to dance, but also will open more chances to be dancing all night long when you go to clubs for dancing.
Right.
So yeah,
there are more options. Yeah,
of course.
This is why I'm always happy to learn salsa. This is why the one of the reason that I learned salsa in the beginning, because of the background, the story, and the mix of styling and the history behind it, basically. So,
yes, and it became, that gave birth actually to a way of communicating among other countries. So people who go to other countries, people who know how to dance salsa and go to other countries, will go and then check on which club will there will be salsa night, and then they will go there and then socialize that way. So even if maybe they didn't have a way of communicating because of difference of language, they will be able to dance on the dance floor and being able to follow each other and now have nothing to do and not knowing themselves being friend before. That's my point. So you don't need to even be friend, not know each other before, but then you're able to communicate and get along just because of the salsa. So yeah, even to that it helps.
Like our motto is, we are all connected through dance. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So later on, Damaris will explain more details about the salsa music, the beat of it, and the music itself, right?
Yes, yes.
And we are going to dance together. Yes. While Stacy will show the basic step, you will explain about it, and I will also demonstrate later how to do it in couple.
Exactly.
But well, hopefully everyone is excited as I am. I'm ready to get up on the floor and dance already. And just for your information, our camera will be on Stacy's camera to do the demonstration. But before we go there, be patient. So we are going to open the session of question and answers. And here I'm going to invite Indah. She is here with us, our head salsa teacher in Jakarta. Indah? So Indah here tonight will be helping us with the answer and question, yeah? Indah, how are you? Good?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, so good to see you here. And Indah, do you have someone asking questions already for tonight? Oh, Indah is muted. Yes? Indah, are you there? Can you hear me?
So far there is no question at the moment.
No question yet. Okay, maybe you have a question? You have been joining Cuban salsa. I mean, you have learned Cuban salsa for how many years now?
Oh, since 2013.
2013, and now you are the head teacher in Jakarta, yeah?
Well, maybe I don't have experience yet, but I'm still learning to teach. Yeah.
Yes. And hopefully the community in Jakarta still can grow while Damaris already moved to US, but Indonesia can still be dancing salsa every time, everywhere. And in
Yes.
Bali we have
After
many
20
places.
years, after 20 years being dancing, there is no way you guys can stop now.
No, there's
No
no
way.
way.
Because of Mami Damaris, we cannot stop dancing.
Yes,
No.
so we just hope the situation now will finish soon so we can dance again together. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, so if we don't have any question, maybe we should go to the demo first, and then if there's any question later on, we can always accommodate that. Yeah.
Yeah. I also wanted to explain about the music first, how to
Yeah.
understand the music. So salsa music is a combination of 8 beats. And what is a beat? This is a beat. What makes it a musical beat is that we can follow the music with it. So if the music is tap, 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 then the music beat will be like that, following that. In the case of the salsa music, then it will be if, for example, any of you have a musical knowledge, then musical wise will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That will be the musical beat, and we will show it later with the music. But then for dancing, we need to do something different. For dancing, we are going to step on the 4th beat and on the 8th beat. So it will become 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, stop. 5, 6, 7, stop. Yes. So for dancing, we will always do 3 step and a stop, and then 3 more step and stop, and like that until the end of the music. So that's why whenever we use the dancing, whenever we are learning, we do 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And this, I'm talking about the step. So in the step, we do 1, 2, 3, stop, 5, 6, 7, stop. And why do I say 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7? In the case for the ladies, for example, we are always going to do 1, 2, 3 with the right foot. And then in the case of the boys, we are going to do 1, 2, 3 with the left foot. Yeah, so ladies, right foot always first, and then boys, left foot always first. Okay? Then in the case of the body, then we never stop. The body just do quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. What do I mean by that? Will be quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. While our step do 1, 2, 3, stop, 5, 6, 7, stop. So in their step, there is stopping, not in our body. Our body keep on swaying. Okay? So let's check how to do that. Let's see. So now, Duane and Stacy, with the help of Duane and Stacy, we are going to learn how to do that. We are going to start by the basic step. Cuban salsa have 3 basic steps. We have walking step, first basic step, and second basic step. We are going to be learning how to do that without music first. Then later on, we are going to do it with the music. And then we are going to see how is it done by couple. So that will be always the order, and you're welcome to join all of it. If you want to stand up and join. Okay? So now for the first, we're going to go into the walking step. But before to go into the step, let's listen to the music. Let's find the beat for dancing. Let's listen to the music. We're going to try to find the beat of dancing. So Duani and Stacy, please play the music. And let's see how to do the beat of the music. So Stace, by claps, try to follow the music. Okay, perfect. You know, by the problem with the internet and stuff, for some of you, it might have a delay in the sound, but then it's sort of like that. Let's try to follow it in their case. So for the first step, as I mentioned before, we are going to do the walking step. So for the walking step, as I said, the ladies will start with the right foot and the boys will start with the left foot. This step is always on your flat foot. We are going to slide. We can go forward, backwards, sideways, turning around, anywhere you can do it. When we go by ourselves, then we just use our arms in front of our belly, swinging opposite to our hips. When we do it in couple, then we use the close embrace position. Okay, so now I leave it to Stacy to show you, demonstrate first without music, later with the music, and then later on together with Duani.
Okay, thank you, Damaris. So for this walking step, I always tell to my students that ladies are always right. Yeah, guys, no offense. It doesn't mean that guys are always wrong, no. But ladies always start with their right foot, and the guys will always start with their left foot. Now, the walking step, so we bend our knees a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. We can also make circle. We can also move. We can turn our body like this. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay?
Yes, exactly like that. So now with the music. Yes, awesomely done. So as you can see, guys, when you do the couple situation, when you do this work, then you can actually go anywhere. That's why it's called walking step. You can go forward, back, sideways, turn around, as you saw in the demonstration by Duane and Stacy. Okay, so that was, once again, the walking step. Now we're gonna go into the first basic step. And we call it the first basic step because normally we start by doing that one first. So in the case of this step, it's going to be done on the spot. We are not going to be moving much around. And that one, for the ladies, we still stick to the right foot first, and for the boys, with the left foot first. In this case as well, we are going to be facing each other later on in couple and using the close embrace as well. So to learn this step, we are going to be stepping back in the ball of your feet, and then on the spot, and then going back to the initial position, and then with the other foot, stepping back to the ball of your feet, and then on the spot, and then getting back to the initial position. It's very important that you guys remember that there is no need to bring the heel of your feet to the ground, because then that will lock your knee, and that will bring sort of sharp move that is not as sway as it should be if you keep your knees bended. But then I will leave Stacy once again to explain a bit more detailful the movement.
Okay, so like Damaris said, ladies, we start with our right, and guys, we start with our left. Now, slowly, I'm going to use the lady step. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Now I want everyone here to stand up and start doing with me slowly before we try with music. Okay? 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Remember, do not lock your knees. So bend a bit to help your hip to move naturally. Okay, once again. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay?
Okay, so now with the music.
Say it again, Damaris.
Now with the music.
Okay.
Perfect. As you can see, as you all guys can see in the dancing part, the holding of this position for this, the hand of the guy will swing in and outward, following the footstep, the footwork. So if we go back with the right foot or the left in the case of the guy, then it will swing inwards and then outward in the case of the other foot. So let's do it without music and very slow.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. From this side, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
Yes. So if we draw, for example, a line while we do that, then it will become sort of like a W Yeah, if we are drawing something, the movement will be like a W. Okay, so there is a stop in the center. We go in and then a stop in the center and then out and a stop in the center. Okay, so in the case of the other hand, then for the boys, the hand will be in the shoulder blade of the lady. And then in the case of the girl, will be just resting at the shoulder of the guy. That's the proper way of holding together. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to go into the second step. That's why I try to stop and make an explanation about that, because the walking step and the first step are done in the same ways, but then the second step is not. So let's see how is the second step. We are going to do the same. We're going to show without the music first, the explanation of it, and then with the music, and then by couple. So the second step will be done back and forward. And then it will start for the ladies with the right foot as well. And then we'll go into the back step, and then on the spot, and then close, and then forward with the left, and then on the spot, and then close to the initial position. So if we do it sideways, then you will see that the hip will swing to the foot that we are stepping on. Yeah, so if we step on the right, the hip will swing to the right, and then if we step on the left, then the hip will be swinging to the foot that we are stepping on, and like that. So I will leave it to Stacy to explain to you how is it done and how to do it.
Okay, so once again, ladies, start with the right foot. Guys, start with the left foot. Okay, we start the second basic, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. If you see from the side, it will be like this. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. It's important here that you do not step too big. Yeah? You don't do salsa like this. No, then you will tire yourself. Yeah? Don't be too hard on yourself. So when you do salsa, we do salsa to enjoy ourselves, to enjoy the music. So my advice is your step will never be bigger than your own shoulder. Okay? So from the side, remember to bend your knees a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. From the back once again. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And always remember to put your arms around your waist. And then I think we better try with music first, and then Damaris, you can explain how to do the second basic in couple. Okay?
Yes. Okay, so now when we go into couples, in the case of this step, then, and in the case of the Cuban style, we have to make the difference. And we are going to show you the difference later on. In the case of Cuban style, we are going to move meter-wise. So if the guy step back with the left, then the girl step back with the right. the guy step forward with the right, then the girl step forward with the left, and so on. So we call it mirror-wise. And in the case of dancing, later on, you will see that Cuban style is sort of like circle-wise rather than line-wise, like it is LA style or New York style in those kind of stuff. So as I told you before, all the styles are very similar among them, but they have also their differences. So now let's see the second basic step and how is it done by couple. So in this case, we are going to be holding, in the case of the guy, going to be holding the left hand to the girl right hand. So you put together left hand from the guy and right hand for the girl. How to hold it? You're going to put your thumb in the lady's palm, and then you're going to cover the hand of the lady with yours, and then lady is going to close over the thumb and become the holding. In the case of the other hand, yes, that way, perfect. In the case of the other hand, then we'll be swinging back and forth when we step back and forth. So if you step back, then the hand will swing back. Step back, perfect, and then forward will hold and step forward. So if you girls do it without the music first, so everybody can see how is the coordination of the hands.
Okay.
So,
But first, I want everyone to practice slowly with us.
So guys, you also stand on your feet and let's try it with us.
Just imagine if you are on yourself, all alone there. Imagine that you have a partner somewhere.
Okay, so we are going to grab the hand of the ladies and then we are going to start stepping back. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit how we go forward. Since we are mirroring, when the lady comes forward, we are not going to step on her by stepping a little bit diagonal outside the line. So we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. From this side, you can see 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
perfect.
And remember for the guys, not to open your foot to the side when you move forward. 1, 2, 3. It's not like that. Okay, but slightly diagonal. Okay.
Okay, so now let's do it with the music.
Yes.
All right, now you can see I'm playing the music. Where's the music? Let's see.
Okay, so to review everything one more time, let's remember the basic steps we have. We have a walking step, which is the one that is just walking everywhere. And then we have first basic step, which is the one stepping back and on the spot. And then we have the second basic step, which is the one stepping back and forth. So now to resume all that, then ladies, let's do it one more time with the music together. All the steps.
Yeah, I am going to do it on my own first, all the basics, and then we are going to do it in couple.
Yes, perfect. So that was how to do the basic, just the basics. So if any of you think that that is what is salsa is all about, no, we have so much more, and that's why are the salsa class needed to learn a bit more about it. But how is it done in a proper way? How is to see salsa? What do we see in the clubs when we go dancing?
Okay, so before we go into that, what Damaris mean by that is later you're going to see a real demonstration of how to dance the salsa.
Yeah.
But I get the message of questions. I
Oh, we do
think they
have
are more
questions.
interested about the salsa. Okay, I have the first question. I have from Yalinska. The question is, do we always need to use heels, high heels, I assume, yeah? High heels to dance salsa?
No, not at all. The first thing you need to dance salsa is your need to dance salsa. That's it. If you need to dance salsa, go ahead. No shoes, no clothes, nothing. Yeah. So if you want to dance salsa, the only thing you need is your need for it, your wish for it. Go ahead and dance it. If you don't know how to dance it, then please go and take classes. But if you feel the music and you feel you feel the need to move, then go ahead. Heels, uniform, whatever, nothing is needed. Yes, it's better to dance with shoes, um, because then it's better to turn and then you don't injure yourself, because by the friction on the floor, then you might injure your ankles and knees in the long run. But it doesn't have to be with dancing shoes and stuff, any kind of shoes, not so much with the sandals, because then it might help you get tangled in your footwork and like that. But any kind of shoes, flat shoes, no need of heels. Of course, you look sexier and nicer with high heels, and then it helps with the distribution of balance to the ball of your feet, where you can keep the turning and the step weight, but doesn't have to be. So.
Okay, thank you. I have another question from Chandra Christina Sari, but I think we will answer this at the end of the session. How to join you guys to dance? Is there any regular meeting? So we keep that as the last one, yeah? And Indah, can you help me with the question number 3?
Yeah, sure. Question number 3 from Maya Trainer from Instagram. So we got
Megan
question.
Trainer, yeah.
Yeah. Do we always need a partner to do salsa?
Well, salsa is a couple dance, but if you're in a party, there is music dancing, more if you have some cocktails on your hands and stuff, please go ahead and move your body the way you feel like to. Yes, because salsa is for party. Yes, for learning how to dance, yes, you need your couple. It's better. Usually the instructor becomes your couple if you don't have your own for learning. But then if you have your own partner that is willing to learn with you, then the better. That will be the perfect idea because then you guys start to understand each other and start to share the knowledge and start to have fun together. So yes, ideally, better with couple, but be my guest to dance however you feel, whenever you feel.
Cool. So the next question, Indah, you can ask.
And then question number 4 from Instagram also we got from
Yeah.
at Aninda. Aninda. So what song is good for beginners to learn salsa?
Mostly the slow beat ones. So usually for the instructor for the beginner classes, usually use the slow beat ones because that will give more time to the students to transfer the body weight and help with the coordination. It will be a huge mistake to use a fast beat because for beginners then they don't have the whole picture of how to move their step and move their body and do it with the speed of the music they will be later on when they move more in their levels. So definitely a slow beat kind of salsa.
Can I add something?
Yes.
I think you can also find in YouTube or something music that have the counting in it, like salsa 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. It's very good where you can hear the singer counting the beat and you can follow it very easy.
Yeah, that's true. But do not get too used to it because then
Yes.
after that,
Yes.
when the music doesn't have the counting, then you don't know how to use the music. So yes, for the beginning, for the first few trials, and then
Yeah.
after that, try to go into slow beat ones, which will be easier to follow.
Yes.
There is another question with the
Sorry.
song thingy. There is another question of in
Yeah,
connection with the
related to the
song.
same question, yeah, from a different person, yeah.
That's right, from this different person. It's from at mami.delina from Instagram. What is your favorite salsa song?
In my case,
Many.
Many.
wow, that is a very hard question, and I don't think I can answer. My favorite salsa song is the one that I feel like to go and dancing. So that will be my favorite song at the moment.
Any
So
favorite band, maybe, or singer?
that as well, I don't have it. I have many, many bands that I love, many groups that I love, mostly Cubans, of course, but I don't uh, keep aside other countries' band, which they do very well and they make us enjoy in the Latin nights. But definitely, my favorite song will always be the one that made me go up, grab somebody, and go to the dance floor and dance.
Right.
That's my favorite one.
I think that's everyone's favorite song.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I believe in the case of salsa dancers, I don't think anybody, maybe at the beginning, yeah, maybe at the beginning, you always have that kind of song that will make you feel more comfortable. And then because you know where are the effects and where is the ending, so you feel more comfortable to dance with it. because then maybe at the end you can strike a pose and things like that. But or maybe you understand the lyric and then you feel more connected to it. But in my case, personally, no, I don't have any. All of them.
Now, this is question number 6 is very important, I think. Inda, you can tell the question. This is very important, I think. I find.
Question number 6 from the same person.
From the
at
same
Mami
person, yeah.
Elin. Yeah. So should you learn other dance as a basic before learning salsa?
Well, I find that it's easier when you start by salsa to dance rather than to go into other dances as well. But same like mathematics, the order of the factor doesn't affect the result. So you start to dance bachata and then you go into dancing salsa. You start to dance tango and then you decided to go into salsa or kizomba or any other of the dance. What is important is you start dancing. Dancing is so good for your health, so good for your self-esteem, for your whole itself, that the decision to go and start dancing is actually the most important one. Not which dance you choose, but to dance. The choice to learn how to dance, to go and dancing is what is important. So if I give an advice, then yes, better you go into salsa. It's a bit more difficult, but then the rest of the dances will become easier for you to learn rather than to go into other dances and then into salsa. It's still doable, still you can do all of them. You have more choices to have fun in the clubs, but my advice is go into salsa first and then the rest of it.
Related to that question, I have many people are asking, do we really need to do basic steps when you start learning any dance, or can I just jump into movements?
Definitely go into the basics. Same like when we are babies and we go crawling and then we start standing up and then start stepping. It's the same way for dancing. You cannot run when you don't know how to crawl. You need to go all the levels to go into running. So it's the same for dancing. When you need your physical motor part of your brain and your body, you need to go step by step. Otherwise, then you end up making a mess.
Okay, yes, that's very informative, because sometimes we see people who likes to do it fast and they forget to learn how to do the basics, right?
Exactly.
Next question, Inda.
Yeah, we got next question from @Bolu Dashadarhana. What is the difference of Cuban and with the others? Or maybe what is the difference of Cuban salsa with another salsa style?
Okay, so that is very important. And at the beginning for a student, it's a bit hard to find the differences, but it's very easy later on to find it. So in the case of Cuban style, as I said before, we dance meter-wise and circle-wise, while the same, I think, is for the Colombian style. They also dance meter-wise and circle-wise, not so much complicated in the case of the turns and twists and stuff, but is in on that sense, circle going around each other. In the case of the LA style, New Year style, is more line-wise. Remember, these styles were born in clubs and where couples were next to each other. So to avoid stepping on each other and pushing here and there, so they decided to keep it line-wise, which is more into the Puerto Rican style. So if Duane and Stacy will be as helpful to stand up and then maybe show a bit of the differences of just a bit of the basic. How is LA style and New Year style done? Holding hands and then line wise. And then just a bit of the Cuban style when you move around. Well, when we show the basic steps, just by doing the walking step, you saw that you could go circle wise. And later on in the demonstration, you will show more of how is the Cuban style. But for now, let's just show the LA style, New Year style, and maybe a bit of the Colombian.
Next with us? Yeah. I again. So we start with the LA style. The LA style first.
LA style, Puerto Rican style, almost the same. We do linear. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Always come back to the same line. Oh, I will give a style already. Sorry. LA style. We go linear back to the same line.
Yeah. So now in the case of the New Year style, the difference is that you can actually start by holding together and then going to holding hands. But well, it is not a must, but it's a bit of the difference in that sense. In the case of the Colombian style, we start by holding each other and then after that going to the hand holding as well. So as I said before, Colombian style is a Latin, from the Latin countries, so we are possessive and passionate, so we hold close embrace. So you guys go ahead and show the Colombian a bit. Yeah, so mostly Colombian style, we have basic step, the first basic step, back and back, and then turning around circle wise. While LA style and New York style will be more line wise, they will have turns, of course, and a lot of difficulties, like more a bit acrobatic and a lot of turning of the girth. But similar to the Cuban style, then it will be done in 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll be facing each other like all the steps.
Here. All right. So, any more question in the?
Yes, we got another question.
And we still have time, so don't worry, guys. We try to answer all questions.
We got question from at my sunshine 200580. I think I know this person.
I think we know this one.
So her question is, can ladies dance or learn man step?
Yes, definitely. Mostly in the Asian part of Earth, of our planet, guys are a bit more timid into going to dancing, a bit more shy. Yeah, so many of the ladies decide to learn how to do the leading part. So I have many cases of my lady students who learn how to do the leading part of the dance. So in this era of gender equality, so we don't like to say the male step or the lady step. We like to say leading step or following step. So yes, either ladies or boys, you can learn any part of the dancing because nobody's judging. The important thing is you have fun. So yes, please go ahead and learn it. But first, I always ask for the ladies to learn the following part And then later on, once you're done, then go into it. Don't learn both because then that will be a bit confusing.
Yes.
I mean, both at the same time.
Okay, we got another question. From our MC, Jasmine Mikel. So how important is hip movement in salsa?
Yeah, it's very important to keep the movement. If you don't move, then you cannot dance. You need to move yourself. You need to move your footwork. You need to move your body. If you, for example, do the stop, but there is no upper body movement, then you look like a robot. Then it's not dancing. You're just stepping. So you do need your whole movement, and more when you get to know a bit more about it and you get more into it, you start to be in charge of the music beats and all that, then your body will move. There is no way you can control it. Your body will move itself, and then of course because you are enjoying.
Right. I have a private question through my WhatsApp from someone who don't want to be mentioned, asking, Mami Damaris, when are you coming back to Indonesia?
I wish I could go right now. Me and Papi, we are dreaming to go somewhere in there. More to it, to Bali. I mean, we really have such a good memories in there. I wish we could be right now. But then let's see, let's see how this crazy pandemic let people move around the world. So we'll see. I mean, good news. Cuba is opening their borders soon in November. So
Okay.
there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. Well, we heard also some news. We will be opening soon. Hopefully, it will be in reality.
Yeah. So once that is established, and then money-wise we can afford it, then definitely
Yes.
we will go there.
Yes. Or maybe we come to US, visit you.
That will be so much fun. That will be perfect.
Okay, so not yet. No any more question. The first one was the question before. I'm still going to keep it for the last one where we're going to share some more information. But for now, I think that's it for the question for now. Yes. So
Question from Tarantula is the same as the first question we have. It's about the heels using.
Oh yeah, someone asked about the heels, but I think you answered it before already, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Just, I mean, if somebody has joined late after that explanation, then heels are not needed, are not a must. If you want to use it, then go ahead. What is important, you use shoes in order to prevent injury by the friction of the foot in the floor. So even though you can use your bare feet, then it's not advisable because then it will create a friction and it will create later on possible injuries. So yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay, so we have no more questions for now. And for Chandra Christina Sari, we are still going to answer it at the end of the video of the live because we are going to share with you about us more. Okay, so let's go to the demonstration now. Yes.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, so I have to get ready first. I'm going to put my costume. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's move to Stacy's camera again.
Oh my God. Bravo, bravo. So yes, that is a peek, a small peek to how is it done, how to do it by couple. So right now I'm so envious here. I really wish I could be dancing there and be out of breath right now because of dancing. My goodness.
I almost shout everyone's name and come and join us on the dance floor. I forgot this is a virtual.
Yeah, yeah. So much fun. So much
Yes,
fun. My God.
definitely.
My
And we
20
have
years in Indonesia will
yeah,
be never the same.
yeah.
So
Okay,
so
so
much dancing and sharing. Such a huge community we had over there. And in Asia, I mean, Asian salsa community is huge. So this is the most important way of communicating in the world when you talk about Latin culture, Spanish heritage. In there is definitely the dancing and the way of having party together.
yes. So there is I think last question before we close this from Nyoman Erinawati. Will it be regular this event online?
Well, it will definitely depend on at America and or any other organization that decide to keep the initiative, and we will be definitely able and wishing to do it. But otherwise, then no, it should be a one time.
Yeah, and well, maybe after this we are going to have more, and for sure we are going to inform everyone when we have another online event. And there is a question again from Pepperoni Pizza. Yum.
That is
Asking,
really tricky.
yes, at this hour of us. Anyway,
What is the question? Shall we send pizza? Yes, definitely.
yes.
I'm
Well,
hungry now.
I don't know if it's a he or a she. I don't know. It's pepperoni pizza. You can never tell, right? So asking the almost like the same question like before. Can I get a song recommendation that is for beginner? Besides maybe I think besides the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So Damaris, do you have any recommendation?
I remember that back in Salsa Club we have one from Ruben Blades from Panama, which is Camaleon, which is very slow. Also, songs from Eddie Santiago are usually slow, salsa romántica. So definitely for learning the beginners, slow beat ones. And then if you don't know which one are slow beat, then go to your instructor or choose an instructor. There in Jakarta, you have many. In Bali, in Indonesia, you have many salsa instructor. Wherever the country you are, go to a salsa class and ask your instructor which which song they advise better to use for dancing at the beginning. But personally, yeah, usually I advise the Eddie Santiago ones or um, some salsa tones. I mean, salsa with the influence of reggaeton that have the beat more marked are easier to use at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then definitely a big waiting for the pepperoni pizza.
Yes.
It's better to dance with a piece of pizza in your hand.
Yes, if you don't have a partner, maybe you can dance with pizza.
Well, actually, let me tell you, or let me remind you, at first in Indonesia, the first time that we start promoting salsa in Indonesia back in 99, it was in Pizza Cafe in Menteng.
Yes,
So you see a relation?
I remember that. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, so pizza and salsa, and the salsa on top of pizza, it's been since the beginning of the word.
Yeah, yeah. At least in Indonesia, in the beginning, we always dance salsa and pizza next to the table, on the table.
Exactly. So yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yes. Any more? Oh, I thought it was more question. Any more question, guys? Stacy, Inda, maybe you have a personal question from yourself. Inda, no, 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 no.
In my case, I want to give some advice that I always give to my students or to the people who are eager to do more than just dancing and they want to share the knowledge. Please be aware or be more, ask for more advice before you go into teaching. I know some people love sharing the knowledge and do so, please do so if people ask you, because normally we ask to the people that we think they dance better. But before you go into that by yourself, then make sure that your knowledge is well done. Ask your instructor if you are doing it properly in order to share in the proper way rather than to teach something that is already mistaken by you. So I advise everyone to go and learn salsa. I advise everyone to share the salsa knowledge. I do advise to do it in the proper way in order to get away from mistakes and things that can make people go into injuries and accidents on the dance floor.
Yes, and I want to add a little bit also as a teacher who is teaching the salsa, Cuban salsa, especially in Bali. There are not so many Cuban salsa in Bali. I just want to point out that teachers, we are not enemies. So we are supposed to hold each other's hand because we are far away from the source of the people who actually bring salsa. We don't have salsa in our background history of our country. So this is from myself that to all the teachers, to all the salsa teachers, and also other dancers that as a teacher we don't compete, but we hold hands, we support each other, and I think this is also why many people started to join salsa, but many people have maybe they think, oh, Stacy is better than me. Stacy is more sexier. I'll dance as a leader. Stacy dance as a follower, and then it becomes something that we are debating about, and it should not be like that. It should be more like, oh, I'm going to learn something from Stacy. Maybe Stacy can learn something from me, or maybe we can perform together. Like actually now that we teach together, we have different opinions, we have different values, we have different way of teaching, which actually the students, many of the students, they learn differently, they catch with different methods, and by having each other, actually you fulfill that difference in teaching or in dancing, in performing, and many things. So let's not compete, guys. Let's
Yeah,
work
it's
together.
important. It's important to keep the friendly and friendliness in our community
Yes.
because we're all one thing ourselves. I mean, we are united by the love for dancing and having fun, which will be the main point whenever we go to social nights and stuff. Socialize, have fun together, and that's it. Keep difference out of the question.
Yes. 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 Okay. So
Oh,
I think that's all for the question. And we reach the end of our program.
oh my God, it is here.
Yes, so that's it, guys. And thank you all again for your participation and your awesome vibe. maybe, because I cannot see if you're joining the class or not. But we feel great to share this with you. So I can feel already in the air that you guys are all enjoying this as much as we do. And also for the questions, thank you. It was amazing questions, and it's actually give more information. Thank you, Damaris, for answering everything and sharing. Thank you, Stacy and Indah, to be here and helping us out with dancing and asking questions, reading it for me, for us. And special thanks to the US Embassy in Jakarta and at America to organize this great event, giving us the opportunity to share the love of salsa, the knowledge of salsa, and the history of the Hispanic heritage in the Latin country. And regarding the first question that I skipped, if you would like to know and learn more about salsa dance with us, you can find us on Facebook or Instagram. You can type this Cuban Salsa Indonesia official. Yes, this on our background. So you can type that and you will find us. We are based in Indonesia, Jakarta and Bali. We have Indah in Jakarta as our head teacher. And she will also have her partner to teach Damaris students. Also, we have teachers there. We have many students already, so you can find her. For routine class, we don't know yet because now is still PPKM, maybe over there is a bit hard. But if you're in Bali, you can find me, Duani, and Stacy. Stacy there, yes. Me and Stacy is based in Bali. We are the head teacher here. And if you happen to be, maybe, I don't know where you are, but if you happen to be in Miami, so far away, in the US, you have Damaris there, who recently moved to Miami. So you can find her, the source of Cuban salsa in Indonesia. So, and thanks again. And thanks again, everyone, and hope to see you again very soon in our next event. Yes? Now I will hand the mic over to Jasmine or...
Yes, Mbak Duani, thank you so much for being our moderator for this evening, and also to Ms. Damaris, Mbak Stacy, and Mbak Indah for an incredible event this evening. I really enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else enjoyed it as well. So earlier in the event, I asked you guys a question, and the question was, when did salsa become popular in the US? So which one is the correct answer? The correct answer is B. In the 1970s, salsa dancing is a big boost in popularity from Cuban and Puerto Rican musicians in New York, where it spread to the rest of the US. So our winner for this evening is from Instagram. So shout out from @_Sariri Rahayu. For those of you who would like to participate in our social media quiz next time, you can tune in from the beginning of the event because that's when we'll be sharing our question. Now, earlier in the event, I also mentioned that America is having a giveaway as part of our 10th anniversary celebration and also celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. We're inviting you guys to participate so you don't miss out on a chance to receive a pair of Apple AirPods. Now, how can you guys participate? You guys can go to the link at atam.tv/US Connected for more information on our giveaway. Now, for those of you who are wondering, how can you develop an awesome idea at an awesome place like America? It's really easy. You can just go to our website at www.adamerica.org.id, select create a program, and go to collaborate with us. All proposals coming to us will be reviewed, and your event might be featured here soon. And while you guys are on our website, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter so you guys get updates sent straight to your inbox. We won't spam you, we promise, just once a week. And also don't forget to follow us on our social media for fun content, event updates, and many more. I hope you guys have a good evening and see you at the next At America TV event. Bye-bye, everybody.